one of the key criteria would be sort of legal expertise and competence. So that's a sort of given starting thing. So you obviously need the knowledge and the competence to be able to do your job. Some of the other more softer skills are things like team working ability, sort of ability to work with others, leadership ability, and there will be criteria for those. So teamwork, fairly obviously. How do you work as a member of the team? Are you cooperative with people? Do you seek to help out other people when there are particular work jams or other things? Well, we have a criteria then for measuring it, so it'll be a performance rating between 1 and 5. 3 is consistently meeting expectations. 4 is consistently meeting and exceeding some expectations, and I think 5 is always exceeding expectations. 2 is sort of needs development. 1 is kind of not good.
Not good.
So people getting a 3 would be seen to be doing very well. We're a high performance organisation. We expect people to be performing high. So if people get 3 on their criteria, then they're doing well. If they get 4, they're doing exceptionally well, and 5s are very rare.
Right. Okay.
We hope not to have people getting 2s and 1s. I think it's, as I've talked about before, it's very important to have a sort of proactive approach. I think it's important not to try and go beyond your own competence and expertise. So you do sometimes find people who feel because, and hopefully this is better now, but because they don't necessarily understand what's expected of them, try and overextend themselves a little bit and will push themselves a bit too far in terms of what they're trying to do. You should always stay within your core competencies and develop as you go along. You can't, you need to walk before you run, etc. Clearly, you can start developing some of those skills even before you join the firm. So one skill that trainees quite often have a kind of not applicable or a blank response to is stuff like business development and marketing and those sorts of things. But you can look at that in a different way, and you can say, okay, we can't expect a trainee to immediately when they arrive be generating loads of deals and developing business, but if you keep the contacts that you've got at university and people that you know, and a lot of the time you'll find that your peers around you are people who are also going into industry. They might be going into banking, they may be going into industry positions. Those contacts are the people that in the future may be generating work. So that's something that's very much encouraged both amongst trainees and junior lawyers, that to the extent you know people within business, organisation that could be the sorts of clients we're looking to have, then clearly it makes sense to keep in contact with those people. You need to be performing at all those different levels at a very, very high level. And there is also something intangible that's there, in my opinion, that is very, very difficult to say what it is, but you can quite often see, if I was to look at the next generation of lawyers coming through, you can probably identify from about 3 or 4 years qualified who are the likely people who will be the partners of tomorrow. And that's not always, they're often the people, they are always the people who are getting high marks, but there may be other people in that group who are getting high marks, but there's sometimes something intangible which just differentiates them. I think you tend to find that a lot of the graduates that join us have done legal work experience, which is all kind of quite beneficial for them. But it'd be worth, I think, the breadth of your experience is always a good thing. And to the extent that people have had time in industry, I think that helps. Well, I think that, again, can be a differentiating factor, and I think that is one of the factors that we talked about, the people that you see at 4 years qualified or lower that you know are the kind of generation of partners of tomorrow. You tend to find those people think about a law firm much more as a business rather than a law firm, which it is. Ultimately, we're a business. We provide advice, but you have to have your eye exactly on what business position is on all of what you're doing. So I think there is sometimes a sense of slight naivety of people joining, that they're joining a large legal organisation and they don't necessarily think about business dynamic. And I think if I was to pick a couple of themes, I think as a trainee, having an idea on the kind of business side of things and business development and just the wider business community and what we can do as a firm, and ideas that people have about new things that we can do. I think that's important. So for example, you may get a trainee who would say, why don't we do a seminar on something? And as a trainee, a lot of people wouldn't have the confidence to do that. But there's no problem with anyone putting forward any idea. People are open to ideas, and I think sort of having that sort of vision or mindset is quite a good thing for trainees to have.